Okay, this is how to tank Blackrock depths on a leveling protection warrior. Now this is actually just the upper city portion of it, because doing the whole thing would take like an hour or two long video just showing only the bosses. But this is the upper city. How you get here is to get in the abandoned mold machine, go past, just past the Grim Guzzler. Now this is actually just me showing some tanking of the trash, because a lot of people did want to see some more trash pulls in my old videos. So it's the basic rotation you're going to use is rend, charge, and then rend, then thunderclap, and then spam, cleave, thunderclap, all your AoE abilities to just hold aggro on multiple mobs. I'm going to have to apologize for missing the first boss because I got into this group late and they had already killed him. It's basically just a tank and spank fight. The only thing is he summons like level 30 adds to him. All you really need to do is just thunderclap as soon as they come out, and they'll aggro to you and not anyone else. It's not a very hard fight. It's a pretty simple concept. Just make sure you save thunderclap for when the mobs spawn. Alright, this boss is the second boss fight. It's called the 7. Each one of these mini bosses, I guess, is kind of reminiscent of a class that you can actually play in World of Warcraft. This first guy right here is a protection warrior, or maybe a protection paladin, I'm not sure. Anyway, he has a shield and he has a defensive ability. It doesn't really save him any though, because you can just burn right through his shield. The second one is this mage over here. All of her casts can be interrupted. You should probably try to interrupt them to save as much damage as possible. In this fight, I don't actually interrupt anything. That's probably because I was really rusty. This is the first time I'd played any World of Warcraft in 3 months. But this third guy is a rogue, and his gouge ability, if it does land on you, I don't think it does that in this fight, but I have fought this guy where he lands the gouge and then he'll unaggro from you. So just watch out for the gouge, and then toward the end of the fight he's going to evasion, and he's going to dodge everything, but any of your casters should be able to take him down. This next dwarf is a two-handed warrior paladin. Not really sure what he does. He doesn't hit that hard. He can be stunned, and I think in this fight we almost stun-lock him till he's at least 25% health. Nothing really much to say about him. The last two are both warlocks. No, never mind. This guy is a priest, and he's going to use a mind blast, and he actually has a heal that he'll sometimes attempt to use. I try to save Pummel for when he uses a heal. Other than that, he goes down pretty easy. The last two are warlocks. This one only casts Shadow Bolt. You can interrupt it and stop most of the damage. She goes down really easy. It's just interrupt her Shadow Bolts and you shouldn't be taking too much damage from her. This last guy, he actually summons Voidwalkers, so you're going to want to rend and thunderclap and cleave as you fight, just to make sure that you are picking up the adds and no one else on your team is having them hit them. Also, the adds will kind of die as you go to your AoE, and as soon as they die you can go ahead and throw in a victory rush. That'll help your healer out, healing you. The loot from that boss is actually in the little coffin up toward the door. This next room, the reason I included it is because it can be a little bit confusing if you don't know what to do here. Basically, you're going to go to the left, and all these are non-elites, so you're just going to tank them, AoE tank the best you can. Now if you have a mage who's just AoEing, you may not have enough AoE to actually pull them all off of him. They die really fast though. There's nothing to really worry about in this room. But you're just going to go to the left and make your way around the outside of the room so that you can avoid as much trash as you possibly can. I guess you could go down the middle if you wanted to, but I find that the best way to do this is to go around the outside to the left. You're actually looking for 2 mobs, and most of the time they're on the left side. That's why I normally go to the left. They're called, I think, Shadow Flame Keepers. I'll show one here in a second. You just AoE tank these like you normally would. Thunderclap, cleave, all of that AoE stuff that you do to hold aggro. There's not a lot to really say about this room other than just spam all you can to tank all the AoE as you work your way toward the back of the room. As you get closer to the back of the room, you're actually going to find the mobs that I was talking about, the Shadow Flame Keepers. And I'll actually show you one right here. This is the mob you're looking for, Shadow Forge Flame Keeper. Make sure that someone in your party loots him. There are 2 of these guys, and they are the only mobs that actually stay on the ground after they die. They don't disappear within a few seconds. But you're going to want to make sure that someone in your group does loot him. That one turns out to be my loot, and I think I actually missed it in this run and had to run back and get it because I wasn't paying attention. There's another one right up here. As you can see, he's right over there in the background. He'll aggro to this group in a second. There he comes. And make sure that you and at least one other person, or whoever the loot falls to, actually do loot those, because you will need those in a second. Now this is farther past the room. We've already cleared the top. We're headed down the right side now. You'll run into these little platforms that have little pyres that you can light on fire. You have to kill these flame guys, and then like the mage is actually running up there to light one right now. Then the other one is actually down a little bit farther on the right side. So you just continue down. Right there it is, right in front of us. But you'll clear on down toward it, and then you have to kill another fire guy. And after you kill him, you can light the flame. And right here, I think I try to light it before he dies, thinking that my DPS is going to finish him off before he can interrupt me, and I fail. Yeah, just make sure that both people pick up the flames and that you do light both of these things. Now once you get them lit, you'll go back toward the back of the room, and this door will be open to this guy. This guy basically does 2 things. He can stun you, which if he does early on, someone, if you have a lot of ranged DPS, may pass you. You want to make sure you pull him away from the fire far enough that if you have melee DPS, that they can still get behind him without being in the flames. Make sure that everyone in your group is in the room before you pull him, because if you do lock out your healer, it's a very good likelihood that you will die. So just make sure everyone's in the room, pull him away from the flames, make sure your ranged DPS stay away from the flames. The stun isn't really anything to worry about, unless, like I said, it happens right at the very start of the fight. You should be good on aggro. And he has a little bit more HP than normal bosses because he's like a giant, but he goes down pretty easy too. I've only had 1 or 2 DPS die in this fight, and that was because they were standing in the flames. This is the last boss. You want to clear the entire room before you pull the last boss. And right here, you need to line of sight this pull, because what happens here is the hunter's pet comes up there and actually ends up aggroing the boss. But the boss isn't really a big deal. All you do is pick up him and the princess, and if you kill her first, it stops his enrage, where he's a lot easier to kill. Doesn't hit nearly as hard, takes a lot less damage. There used to be a quest where you could try to save her, but I don't even know if that quest is still in the game. So I like to just kill her first and then take him down. And it's just basically a tank and spank from then on. And that's it for Blackrock Depths Upper City.